When I was practicing for League Star, I was practicing with a Saboteur. The build had adequate damage, but due to Pyromaniac, it was very survivable. But then I saw a video from Subtractum where he was doing an Elementalist Fire Trap, and it looked amazing. I was seduced by the promise of amazing damage, and I switched. Unfortunately, the new build isn't quite as perfect as it looked. The League Start weekend is now over, and I've given the build quite a lot of time just to see how it goes. Now don't get me wrong, the build does exactly as was promised, it does absolutely amazing damage. But it does struggle with past and present League mechanics, with it just getting squished so easily. Now I also have both the Searing Touch and the Eye of Malice, and I'm working on some of the other stuff, and I was quite lucky because both of those actually dropped. I'm still not 100% sold on the Searing Touch. I may actually go back to a shield. A shield just felt so much more defensive. But therein lies another problem. If you're only using one scepter, the damage just isn't there. And I wasn't using some trash scepter, I was using a proper singularity. Now initially I started off with 2 singularities, but it was just way too squishy. I had to switch to a shield just to survive. And I've had to make some other defensive changes to the build. The first is I'm using a stone golem for the life regen. And I'm also using the trap mastery that gives you 30 life when your traps are triggered by an enemy. I've also gone for some chaos resistance on the tree temporarily until I can get it on gear. I'm up to about -13 now, so heading in the right direction at least. When I did have a shield, I was getting endurance charges every time I killed an enemy, and that did help a lot. Now that doesn't come as standard on a shield, however you can get it through the new League mechanic if you're lucky. Whilst I'm on the subject of the new League mechanic, actually it's very good for shield crafts. Every shield I've crafted has so far not had a negative effect with us bricked it. Scepters on the other hand, they're just in a mess. I haven't managed to craft anything decent and most of the crafts completely ruin the weapon. Also, the primordial remnants, they're really difficult. I went in one and didn't manage to get off the starting block. I was just absolutely destroyed. They seem slightly overtuned and don't go full on them unless you've got a really strong build or they are going to kill you. Now one question I was asking myself while leveling is when is the right time to switch to Eye of Malice? Because I was scared before I got the second curse of whether it would work, and in general it works. So far I've only had 2 mobs that I couldn't kill because they had so much resist. One of them was a really amped up essence, the other was something in a heist encounter. So, we've talked about the build. How would I rate it? The clear is really good. It's A tier, without a doubt. The movement skill, just to clear, best thing ever. Boss damage on the most part is very good. There are 2 problems. Getting stunned and getting frozen are a real problem. I am going to fix getting frozen now I've dropped the Divine Vessel and I need to work out how to prevent stuns. I'm thinking one of the evasion masteries. Now, providing you don't get frozen or stunned, the boss damage is also A tier. So far, I'm level 90. I've been stacking fire resist to get the regen, which is really nice. That then supplemented by my golem. With regards to map, I'm on red maps. I'm running 11s and 12s. 13s just feel that little bit unsafe at the moment. But bear in mind, I really do hate death in this game. It really annoys me, so I'm probably a little more risk averse than the standard player. Now the all-important question, would I recommend this build? And this answer is going to vary depending on the audience. If you're the kind of player who just follows build guides and isn't yet up to the level of making their own builds or being able to fix build issues, then I would strongly suggest you do not go with this build. On the other hand, if you're the kind of player who really likes solving build issues and knows how to fix them, then you're probably going to really enjoy this build. And I strongly believe this build will be in a much better place in a few days. I know Subtractum's put out, I think, 2 videos on the issues and what he suggests to fix them. And I think he's also held back his own build progression so he can help people. So full credit where it's due there. If you are running this build, do share the experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.